To begin with, let's take a look at a plant cell and an animal cell. Chloroplasts and cell walls are unique to a plant cell. They will not be found in any kind of an animal cell. Chloroplasts contain chlorophyll inside them that makes it look green. They are oval-shaped organelles. The function of the chloroplast is to capture energy from sunlight and later on convert it into energy that can be used by the cell. The mitochondria also plays a role inside this process. This process is called photosynthesis. The other unique organelle to a plant cell is a cell wall. A cell wall is very similar to a cell membrane that I will talk a bit more about later. The structure of a cell wall is a rigid layer that surrounds the plant cell and will not be found in any animal cell. It is mostly made out of a strong material called cellulose. The function is to protect the cell. It as well supports the cell membrane, as I already mentioned before. One organelle that's unique to an animal cell is called lysosome. This is the only unique organelle that I will talk about, unique to an animal cell. A lysosome is the opposite of chloroplast. That is why animal cells have it and plant cells do not. That's why plant cells have chloroplast and animal cells do not. Basically, lysosomes are small round ball structures. Their function is to break down large food particles into small particles that can be converted into energy that can be used by the cell. However, chloroplasts do not need to break down food particles as they only get sunlight, which is already in the form of an energy that can be converted into a different energy and does not need to be broken down by lysosomes. Now we are done with the unique structures. So both plant cells have a nucleus. The structure is like a big ball that has a double membrane. It contains the DNA. The function is like the brain of a cell. It controls the entire cell. It defines what the cell looks like, where it goes, what it does, and what it is. Continuing with the nucleus, it's divided into 4 parts: nucleolus, chromatin, nuclear envelope, and nuclear porus. The nucleolus is like the Earth's core. It's a small, round structure. The function is to create ribosomes, and ribosomes create protein, and protein is very important to the cell. It also does not control the cell. However, the chromatin does. It stores the cell's DNA and directs the cell's actions. The structure is a bit jelly. It covers the space between the nuclear envelope and the nucleus, nucleolus. The nuclear envelope is a membrane of the nucleus. It determines which substances can pass through and which substances can exit. Then the nuclear porus are the holes inside the nuclear envelope. These are the holes which substances pass through. A cell membrane, it forms a border between the cell and its environment. It's a thin layer. The function is to protect and support the cell. It is really similar to a cell wall as I mentioned before. Next is mitochondria. The structure is a rod-shaped organelle, and the function is to convert energy stored in food to energy that can be used by the cell. Next is endoplasmic reticulum. It is also known as the ER. The structure of it is like a maze of passageways. Ribosomes are parts of the ER. The others float in the cytoplasm. The function is to produce many different substances. Which one of them are the ribosomes? Next is Golgi apparatus. The structure, it looks very like the ER. The difference in the structure is that the Golgi apparatus does not have ribosomes. The function is to store, collect, and transport materials. The cytoplasm is a jelly liquid. It keeps the cell together and it fills the region between all the organelles inside the cell. Ribosomes are tiny grain structures. They produce protein, which is very important for the cell. Vacuoli. The structure is very large. It's very large in plant cells and tiny in animal cells. Some animal cells do not even have an ER. The function is to store substances that are used by the cell, mostly water. These organelles named are found in both a plant cell and an animal cell. Organelles work together to perform specific functions. For example, the cell membrane and the cell wall work together to protect and support the cell. A more complex example of organelles working together is called protein synthesis. The instructions to create a particular protein are found in the cell's DNA. So as to prevent damage to the DNA, when a protein is required to be made, a copy of the particular DNA is encoded - written onto an mRNA messenger RNA molecule. This is called transcription. The molecule then leaves the nucleus through a nuclear pore. The mRNA molecule then travels to a ribosome, which may be located on the rough endoplasmic reticulum or in the cytoplasm. From the paragraph read, you can see that the DNA stored in the chromatin works with the nuclear pores, later on with the ribosome or endoplasmic reticulum or cytoplasm. So first off, the chromatin asks the nuclear pores if it can let mRNA pass through. That's one way the organelles work together. Then the mRNA molecule travels to an endoplasmic reticulum through the cytoplasm. So cytoplasm helps the mRNA get to the endoplasmic reticulum. That's another way organelles work together. Then the mRNA molecule tells the ribosome what protein to make. So the mRNA successfully told the ribosome what protein to make. So chromatin can work with the ribosome even though it's not even close to it. This is how organelles work together. These were just a few examples. There's dozens of ways organelles work together. Summarizing, you can see that some organelles are unique to a plant or an animal cell, such as the cell wall and the chloroplast that are unique to a plant cell, or an lysosome that is unique to an animal cell. You now learned that organelles also work together to perform specific actions. If you liked the video, hit the like button and the subscribe button, and comment whatever video you want me to make.